guys are weird. Very weird. Why? I'm curious. Why are you weird? Animals. I love bees.
It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity.
Wondering why we're here? So we're showing standard industry practice within animal agriculture. So if you eat animal products, this is where 99% of it comes from. If you're on your way in, I can just give you this. But if you're thinking about trying to go vegan, there's like 22 days of free support. There's a bunch of resources on there. It's like everything's free on there. So yeah, definitely. You want one too?
Yes.
Okay. You guys have a good time. Nice to meet you. Do you think that ending a life unnecessarily is okay?
Life feeds life. The reason I hunt is because I have a compassion for animals like that. I don't want to see animals suffer.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that if I end one deer's life that lived an entire year or 3 or 4 years out in the wild, completely wild, under the stars and the moon and everything, that will eliminate my need to go and purchase beef from the grocery store, where my ideology is to provide for myself through my means. So my means is going out into the woods and harvesting that animal that I knew lived a full life.
But they didn't live a full life, right? Because they could have gone on living if you hadn't killed them.
Their death was quick. Compared to if they got eaten by a mountain lion or a bear, a wild animal is going to die eventually, right?
Yeah. So are we?
A slow, natural death,
absolutely,
or it's going to be a slow and painful death by a predator. Or my suffering is quick, swift. They live their entire natural life in the wild. So
I mean, you could say that about human beings too. We just kill each other because we're going to die of old age someday. I mean, think about it that way. Life is full of suffering. Like you're talking about wild animals killing other animals, that's terrible, but we don't have to do that. We have the ability to live without doing that, or at least to as far as possible. We can't live our lives without causing any suffering, but we can try to reduce it as much as possible, right?
Okay. Yeah. So that's where I'll agree with you on that. Where we have opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
So part of our evolutionary process was inventing tools, and that's what set us apart. That's why you have the ability to think of what you're thinking of right now. The evolutionary process of us coming out of the trees, basically, was because we hunted. You're deciding to diverge from the human.
I'm deciding to recognize that human beings also evolved to have moral awareness, you know, to realize that we can make decisions that cause less suffering. And ultimately, like, why would we evolve that if we were not supposed to put it to use?
How do you explain canine teeth?
Canine teeth, I mean, like, look at gorillas.
Yeah.
Most of the plant eaters on this planet, like the biggest, strongest plant eaters, we all have canines.
We evolved, and that's part of our human history, consuming meat.
So is slavery, man. So is rape and slavery and all kinds of other awful stuff, you know? It doesn't mean we have to keep doing it, right?
No, it doesn't.
Because, I mean, appealing to nature or appealing to history, it's really a dangerous path to go down to justify your behavior.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect us now, right? That's
maybe
how we evolved, but we evolved doing all kinds of other awful stuff too.
Yeah.
You can obviously recognize that there's better and worse ways to treat animals, right? Yeah, and probably the animals that live in the wild that you kill at least had a much better life than these animals, but they ultimately didn't need to be, you didn't need to kill them, right? I'd say too that, like, we definitely couldn't sustain the world that way, and there's not enough wild animals. I mean, obviously, like, we have way more domesticated animals right now than we have wild animals left on the planet. You could just choose something else that doesn't cause unnecessary suffering.
I think plants don't feel either.
I think that we know that animals do. I think plants are probably, we're less sure of that, right? If you're thinking that way, then it's like, well, that animal eats plants too, right? Like if you're buying meat at the store, you're not only eating the animal, you're also responsible for the plants that animal ate too. So if you think that plants do have some kind of sentience or awareness, then you're just causing more death, right?
Okay, so what happens when people don't eat meat? When you lose the nutrient density of meat, protein, how do you make up for that?
If you want to look at sustainability, the amount of plant food that goes into animals and water that goes into it, it's a waste of resources. You know?
Okay, so if we were all to convert to veganism, every person, every working class person, every person that can go vegan, how would you map that out? You're going to have to make a huge change. And
it is a big change, but I think it's a change that's in line with our values.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think that most people agree it's wrong to cause unnecessary suffering. It's wrong to deprive someone of their life if you don't need to end their life. Yeah. And we definitely don't need to end their life. Yeah. We don't need to. Well, you know, we could just choose another option that doesn't harm someone.
What would happen to all the farming?
Well, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen overnight.
Okay.
But it's gonna be transition. It's already transitioning. You know, plant-based meats are growing like crazy right now. Yeah. But ultimately, it's going to be a transition. People are going to have more sustainable jobs. We're not going to be wasting nearly as much energy. I mean, we have enough food right now to feed the entire world if we just took the crops that we grew and fed them right to humans and not to animals first. So think about that. Yeah. We actually wouldn't even need to use as much land as we currently use now for crops.
Okay. But what are you going to do about the third world countries that they're not in the agricultural revolution?
The poorest people in the world eat a primarily plant-based diet.
Yeah.
If we're looking at sustainability, if you're looking at nutrient density, the best way to grow the crops that we eat is just to go straight to the nutrients that come from the earth, not to feed them to animals first, then eat the animals.
Okay. So that's an ideology, correct?
That's an ideology?
Yeah.
It's the truth.
How do you justify the lost life that comes from agriculture? Every single time that a field of wheat is reaped, hundreds and thousands of rodents die.
We should absolutely try to address that. Okay. We should try to reduce the amount of animals that are killed in harvesting crops too. But when we grow crops in addition to those crops to also feed to animals, we're just exacerbating the suffering and death, right? And not only are we killing those animals for the crops we eat directly, we're killing the animals for the crops we then feed to animals, then we're killing those animals too, right? We don't have a perfect solution, right? No, we don't have a perfect solution. But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't try our best, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like as if we can't solve all suffering on the planet. That doesn't mean we shouldn't try to do as much, reduce as much as possible, right? Yeah.
No, I love the ideology of veganism.
Well, I encourage you to give it a try, man. I think you agree with it, man. I really think you do.
If I could,
I think you can. I believe in you, man.
100% vegan, but supplement my diet with naturally harvested wild game. And then if I find myself still thinking that what I'm doing is immoral or ending an innocent life, then maybe I'll make the transition.
But I don't think you need to be killing any animals. I mean, I know you don't need to be killing any animals, right? Do you need to? Could you live without doing so?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you could have eggs because if they're not unfertilized eggs, then they're basically useless.
Yeah, but see, if you look at chickens, if you go back in like the genealogy of chickens, like we've bred, like they're descended from wild jungle fowl. Yeah. So they would lay like 10 to 12 eggs a year, like 2 clutches a year. Now it's like 300, right? Yeah. So even if you have like backyard chickens, like they develop all kinds of diseases, and like literally you take them to a vet and people will laugh at you, right? Because like nobody wants to spend money, like they don't value this animal's life because they're not recognizing that there's like some type of intrinsic value that animal can value their own life. Like what matters is what you get from them, even when they're treated well, right? So they're still a commodity.
Yeah, they are. I believe in the message. I like the message. Again.
Well, I appreciate you talking and listening. It was good talking to you.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Jimmy.
Cool, I'm Jordan. Yeah, nice to meet you. If you're interested in trying to go vegan, and I do encourage you to, it sounds like it's in line with your values. There's this website right here it's just vegan22.com. There's like 22 days of support. So if you have questions about anything, like if you're worried about getting enough protein or something like that, you know, people have all the answers. So, So thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Enjoy the concert.
But yeah. educate as many people as you guys can.
Yeah, we're definitely trying. I appreciate you being open and listening.
I like hearing the end of the spectrum, and I like knowing that somebody's fighting for a solution. Yeah, we're trying. Because there is a solution, and yeah, we're really trying. I mean, it's a tough battle. Maybe one day we'll live in utopia, but I hope so. I think it's possible. You know, that's the other thing that humans uniquely have. We have the ability to conceptualize a world like that. Yeah. Animals don't, and we also have the power to bring that world about. Yeah. So that's what makes us unique and privileged, right? Yep. Well, well, thank you guys. Nice to meet you, man. Have a good one.
Hey, I fucking love dairy. It's so good. I love fucking milk. It's so good. We're trying to encourage people to yeah. I'm totally open to it. Awesome. Yeah, if you're interested in checking out veganism, here's some free resources. Yeah, I encourage you to try it. It's really worth it. Thanks. Yeah, maybe I'll give it a go. Maybe 2019 is the year.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that would be awesome. That would make my day. So this is where 99% of the animal products you buy at stores come. No, it sucks, right?
I don't like that.
Yeah, it doesn't line up with like what you think's right, right?
Well, I'm not a vegetarian, but I'm 100% against how we treat our animals. I'm 100% against.
Yeah, well, that's good. I think most people are.
So what is it that you're trying? Are you just trying to promote awareness?
Yeah, we're just trying to be vessels of truth. You know, just tell people. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I mean, because
I don't like that. It makes me incredibly sad.
No, it's not in line with your values. It's not in line, like nobody thinks this is okay.
I think where it is it's hard to go, my voice is going to make a difference, because even in politics that doesn't necessarily show, right?
Yeah, true.
So it's difficult to see the correlation that by me going, nope, I'm done, is going to actually impact something.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, really huge numbers start with small numbers, you know? So like, yeah, like, it does, every person counts, like, and the influence that you have by doing that influences lots of other people too, potentially. It cascades. The thing is, like, people stay with a position when they do it for others. Yeah. That's how our minds work. So if you
if you expand,
I want that guy fired.
From the health to the like ethical aspect. It can be like lifetime.
Yeah. So if you look at like, hey, every time I make this choice, there are victims behind it. Like, there are animals being killed because of this. And on top of that, from the environmental perspective, like the greenhouse gas emissions from animal agriculture are greater than all transportation combined. So like cars, trains, planes, yeah. I mean, you shouldn't have to watch it, right?
This is definitely making me think. So,
but if you support it, you know, that's what you're saying. Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, thanks. Well, you have a good night. Thanks. Do you consume animal products?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think
that? I'm aware.
Yeah. Do you think that's okay though? Like,
I think it's halfway okay because that's my lifestyle that I've always grown up with. What do you want me to see from this?
Just want you to recognize that your actions probably don't align with your values.
I've always recognized that.
Yeah. So
I don't know the right way to go. You know what I'm saying?
I think the most important thing is to look at, like, you know, not supporting this at all. You know, ultimately, like, not like going vegan.
Yeah.
And then however you get there, it's, you know, your choice. Vegan at one time,
but like that like I am an activist for, like, I want to be vegan, but like most of the people I know cannot go without meat. I want you to help me.
Yeah. So I can give you this.
Yeah.
If
no, but not with this. I want you to help me mentally.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I actually want to do it because it's hard for me.
What I'm saying
it's hard for me when I go to a place.
Yeah. So every time you go someplace, just think about the fact that, like, you can make a decision that has victims, and you can make one that doesn't. You know, like, I think that's
there you go.
That's key,
that's
right?
What's gonna help me, right?
Yeah. Every single time, and recognize that I could make a choice where there are individuals that are going to suffer and die because of it, or I could just make a choice where we
not dying in front of us.
Well, you know, plants aren't sentient. Plants don't experience suffering and pain. At least not as far as we know. We know that animals do. We don't know for sure. Plants probably don't.
You're right.
Plants don't have a central nervous system. From an evolutionary perspective, it'd be absolutely absurd for plants to feel pain because they don't have the ability to flee from it. Think about that, right? Yeah.
Thank you for acknowledging me.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Hey, I appreciate you because I want to be a part of the movement, but it's really hard for me.
Yeah, okay.
You know
well, you can do it. You can do it because just align your actions with your values, right? Think about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one, man. Yeah.